This podcast is powered by the pros at Paschal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPaschal.com.
All right, a conversation that's always worth it is with our friend Richard Davenport of Whole Hog Sports in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Richard, a couple articles you've written recently with some guys that have been talking with some coaches here on campus football-wise. Tell us about Aiden Anding.
Yeah, he's a guy that's a pretty interesting prospect. He's a 2025 cornerback out of Ruston, Louisiana, about 6 foot, about 165. Last year was his first year to play high school football. He played junior high, but last year was his first year for high school, and he really really stood out. He was a former basketball player. He thought his ticket to maybe go to college and maybe beyond was in basketball. Then he gave football a try, and he's got about 14, 15 offers right now, Arkansas being one of them. Great relationship with Coach Deron Wilson, the secondary coach, and it looks like he's going to visit sometime in March. Probably a guy that's going to continue to blow up. Ole Miss recently offered, but a guy that's just getting on the radar of a lot of schools. He's just rated by one recruiting service, the 3-star, but I think that'll probably go up at some point. Just a great athlete and a really good kid too. I was really impressed with his maturity and his just the way he talked. He sometimes you get the feeling of a kid that seems to be all about himself. That's not the case with Aiden. He's a good quality kid and one of the leaders of the team.
Richard, when people hear Ruston, they think Ruston Rifle, a.k.a. Scotty Thurman, basketball side of things. You've gotten some kids out of Louisiana before. What is Arkansas's chances these next few years under Sam Pittman and this staff to maybe have more success in the upper parts of Louisiana, the kids that maybe don't get looked at as heavily by LSU?
Well, northern part of Louisiana has always been good to Arkansas. The farther you go away and you talk to people in Louisiana, the farther you go away from Baton Rouge, the less influence of LSU. Don't get me wrong, LSU is still pretty strong in all parts of Louisiana, but the northern part, Ruston and, near the Arkansas border, there's a good amount of Arkansas fans. So kids are not as inclined to be automatic Tiger fans, even though a lot of them are. But it's just not as I guess you can say just a strong hold for LSU. So I tend to think with Coach Wilson his connections in Louisiana, because he's a Louisiana native. I think that's going to help, and you can always point out to a lot of the guys that come from that area in northern Louisiana and been successful at Arkansas.
Richard Davenport with us here on the McLarty-Daniel Hotline. Richard, a few days ago I was reading something you wrote about Eric Mateos, Arkansas's offensive line coach, and kind of some of the connections he's created. Tell us more about what you learned as you were putting that article together, and a highly recruited offensive lineman that he's been after, Darius. Is it Avalva? Tell us how you say his last name as well.
You know what? I got to ask these young men how to pronounce their names, but a lot of times I don't. I just kind of wing it myself. So I'll go with what you said as far as his last name. But just Darius, I'll just say Darius is probably one of the more impressive young men I've talked to in a while, and I know I say that a lot. I think I just enjoy good kids, and he's just a grateful, very family oriented kid that really struck me as just a great young man. We had been communicating and we hadn't been able to get together, on the phone, and he apologized over and over, and there was really no reason to apologize, but he felt bad about not being able to get back with me as quickly as possible, and I was just kind of blown away by that. You usually don't hear that from too many young men, but 6'5", about 320 pounds. He's from Hawaii, but he plays high school football in Utah. And Coach Mateos offered him when he was at Baylor. And in the first conversation that they had, they instantly connected. And Darius really emphasized that. He said he probably wasn't going to go to Baylor. He just felt like the competition maybe, in the Big 12 and stuff like that's not as good as he'd want. But once Coach Mateos got to Arkansas, his interest level instantly picked up, and he said he plans to make an official visit. He's got LSU, many other top Power 5 offers, so a very highly recruited kid, and just a great, like I said, just great quality young man. But he definitely plans to visit Arkansas sometime, probably in June. I get the feeling that's when it's going to happen.
Richard, we got spring football practices coming up in just a couple of weeks, and I know that's always a busy time for coaches to get on campus, guys to be around, high school coaches to get on campus. I assume that this spring will be no exception to some of the recruiting activity that will go around spring practices as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big draw for kids to if they visit a school, a lot of times they want to see a team practice, especially obviously during the spring and maybe in the fall if they have a chance to do that. But most of the time they don't. But they want to see how the players interact with the coaches, and the coaches coach their particular position. So that's going to be a very busy time during the spring. Obviously, not only for spring practice, but for recruiting purposes. And next weekend, not next week, March 8th, Branston Hickman from SMU, the transfer, is going to be making an official visit to Arkansas. The top interior offensive line prospect in the portal, according to on3.com, will be visiting, and that's big. You already got three quality offensive linemen from the portal, and they're currently on campus. And Branson will be visiting, and he's pretty excited about making his way to Arkansas.
Richard Davenport's with us on the McCarty-Daniel Hotline, Whole Hog Sports Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Artie, you got any thoughts on the Combine this week? Former Razorbacks, 5 participating, starting tomorrow?
No, I'm not. But I'm kind of interested in seeing what Bo Limmer does in the bench press, because Arkansas has had some pretty good bench pressers in the Combine. I guess Mitch Petrus was probably the most notable as far as in the bench press. He was in the 40s, I think, and Bo Limmer is definitely one of the stronger guys in the Combine, and I'm interested to see what he does in the bench press.
Richard, in terms of when this basketball coaching staff starts recruiting, I know they do it periodically and stuff, but is it one of those things with the transfer portal that as soon as the season ends in Nashville, which we expected to, that they're going full out and that's their only focus until the next season when they start game planning for the next game?
Yeah, no doubt. The portal officially opens March 18th and then ends and closes May 1st. Now, graduate transfers, they can enter the portal at any time. So you know that they're already looking around, and that's going to be their focus, especially like you said after the season ends. So it's going to be just like any other off season, and after the season and the portal opens up, they're going to be very, very involved, and it's going to be a very busy time.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.